Hi sir, good morning. I'm Johannes Samuelraj doing my final year's BTech CSE in Carnegie University, and I got an opportunity to do my summer internship at University of Texas at Dallas. So I feel it is a great moment for me as the university collaborations gave me a chance to participate in this event, and I was able to go to the United States and do an internship over there. Not many people get a chance, as I'm one in a million as per our university's motto, where I got this chance. Only 10 students from around the world came and participated in this event, and I was one of them, and 7 from Karunya, and that's really a great number. I First of all, I thank Dr. Elijah Blessing for giving me this opportunity. And secondly, I'd like to thank Mr. Dr. J. Veerasamy and Dr. Professor John Cole, the director and the assistant director of University of Texas Dallas Eric Johnson School of Computer Science, who gave me an opportunity to be part of the interns of University of Texas at Dallas. Yeah. So basically this program was a study internship on big data and machine learning. I learned what big data is and what machine learning is, how I can frame my own algorithms and do my research. This was a big help for me in my career. I take this as a career, and so this is the CS internship at University of Texas at Dallas. So this is headed by Dr. J. Veerasamy and Professor John Cole. They are the directors of the Center of Computer Science and Education and Outreach Activities. So I had at So this is about UTD. It is founded in 1969, and you know how many schools are there in UTD. UTD is one of the most prestigious institutions in entire United States. University of Texas, yes, that's really cool, where I got my opportunity. Yes, and so this is about Eric Johnson School of Computer Science, where I did my program. Yeah, so School of Computer Science Eric Johnson is actually one of the biggest in United States, and it has more number of students there. And what I found really interesting there was 80% of the students over there are Indians. 80% of this entire department is Indians, and I was proud that I also was there for a month to do my internship. So this is about Eric Johnson's, and they have more than 200 courses, and more than 700 students graduate per each year. And it was interesting for me to know that the average package per annum was around $350,000 for the people who graduate from Eric Johnson School of Computer Science. It's pretty much high when compared to the amount in our India. Right? I wish I can go there and be part of Eric Johnson School of Computer Science once. At least I will do my MS there. Definitely I'll be doing my MS. So let me go on with the selection procedure for the program. So I filled and submitted an application program for the internship at University of Texas at Dallas through the university collaboration cells, and I got a telephonic interview by the UTD staff. Of course, the director himself talked with me and interviewed me. So that's for the first time when I talked with J. Veerasamy sir and with John Cole sir. Once they said PTO have been selected for this program, and I was really happy. So I just applied for the J1 status visa, and the university collaborations helped me a lot with that, as well as the outreach program of UTD helped me. So UTD supported me with the visa procedures. They sent me all the required scanned documents and everything, and Jay sir even sent every procedure to me via courier, and I was able to get it. And I got my visa approved by 23rd May 2016. And I left India by 29th May 2016 by British Airways. I got another intern from Sona College of Technology, Ms. Raghavi. She accompanied me during the flight, and she was my partner for doing the project over there. Yes, so we departed India on 20th. The internship duration was 4 weeks, and it started from May 30th, and we were there in Texas till July 3rd. So we were there solid 4 weeks, and we enjoyed every moment of our internship and gained a lot of knowledge during my internship over there in University of Texas. So this is kind of sketch of the cost of internship that it took for me. The total cost of internship, including everything, the visa process and everything, was $2,500. We got a chance to visit NASA, and yeah, and had included everything in that. It was a pretty good trip for me over there. So the topics of study during the internship, my internship was, I had introduction to big data, I had introduction to machine learning. What big data is, where big data is kind of a place where I get a large amount of humongous heterogeneous data, which is unstructured, and you structure those data to form one solid machine learning code. Machine learning is nothing but where I will be able to frame algorithms in where I can make the system learn by itself, form algorithms which will enable the system to learn its data. So I had an introduction to the experience on big data analytic tools. They also gave me a knowledge about the research areas that are available in the future for the students for their career in University of Texas at Dallas, and I had a brief view about the robotics and automation that is currently available in market, and it is in research. R&D, research and development. I had a big go through them during this internship. So yeah, artificial intelligence is one of the areas that I would like to plunder into it. I want to excel in it, and I got a good view of artificial intelligence in University of Texas at Dallas. So they also helped me with my basic and advanced Unix and Linux scripting, and they helped me to set up an Hadoop cluster using Unix and Linux, and this was a very good opportunity for me to do that. And so, what is the knowledge acquired from this internship? Yeah, I've acquired a lot of knowledge during this internship. So, what big data basically is about the different dynamics of handling big data, the large chunks of data which is readily around us, and how we are going to effectively analyze the available data and do analytics to support the machines and enable them for an automation. So yeah, I just learned the art of programming short, especially using Spark. I really enjoyed that. The program, for example, if I'm going to program and Java hash radius code for 89 lines of code, I'll be able to do the same with Spark in just 8 lines. And Spark was hassle free, and I enjoyed programming with Spark. I just got to the technology around and the difference in the use of technology by the Western and the Eastern countries especially, and I really got a good exposure of both the academic system of the Western and the Eastern. I want to be frank with you, sir. The culture that is being followed, that is in the US, that is in the Western countries, is entirely different from what we follow here in our Asian countries. The academic structure is I would like to say they are quite advanced with their academic structure, but then they're not very much specialized in their programmings as an Indian student is. The Indians are quite good with their programming skills, and Indians really do well with mathematics. That's why Indians excel wherever they go, and this is an experience which I really saw this. So yeah, the various tools, languages, and that I learned during my internship were the R programming, pig programming, advanced SQL querying, taught to me by Hemant sir. He was extraordinary. He taught me really well. And the MS Office Excel, where I had a real hand experience of analyzing all the data, and the SQL querying included in that. And when Hemant sir taught me all those things, I was wondered. And he taught me with the real-time data of AT&T company, where he is working over there, and he taught me how people query and how people analyze the data that is available. That is very humongous. And when he made us do all those things, it was really a big task. Then I learned about MapReduce, which is the basic of big data. Then yes, I learned Spark programming, and of course I enjoyed setting up of an Hadoop single node cluster using a Unix system. And this was the best thing I did in my internship over there, and I learned. This is a very good opportunity I had. So I'd like to give a concept introduction to the tools. First, let me start with R programming, which I learned first. Okay, so R programming is a language for language and a software environment for statistical computing and graphic things. Okay, so I would like to brief it like I was just given over here. What R language is? R is a very concise and a very effective tool which includes Java, Python, Ruby, .NET, Perl, and all the programming languages, and it is very good for data analytic and data miner. Statisticians will enjoy working with R programming, and I got a good introduction to it by my staff over there. She taught me really well. Purnima ma'am, she taught me really well on R programming, and R analytics is simply wondrous. I was able to, if you give a straight code of data of statistical data, and I was able to analyze each and every data that has been given to that, and R programming helped me a lot on that. So I learned a lot of R programming during my internship at University of Texas. So what is Spark? Spark is a formally defined computer programming language. It is based on ADA programming language, especially Arduino programming, and it's an high integrity software that is used in the systems where it is critical when highly reliable operations is essential. Yes, Spark is very reliable, and its operation is highly essential. If you say, sir, it is quite optimizing your time. Where a programmer has to code some 800 500 lines of programming, and with Spark you will be able to do that with just 10 or maybe some 200 lines. Yeah, you are reducing your space. The space and time trade-off works well, and it has a good safety and security, and business integrity is much ensured in that. So Spark can be basically done only when you have implemented a big data and a cluster in that. So how basically this Spark works is that there are different worker nodes, and each worker node has its own executor, has its own cache, and it has own tasks to be done. And so multiple worker nodes come and club together to a cluster node. This cluster manages all the data, and it goes to the server. The server manages all the data. So the Spark server works really fine. And pig programming, what I thought what pig programming is, as I thought it's fun something, but really pig programming taught me a lot. Pig programming can execute its Hadoop jobs in MapReduce. MapReduce is different. It is entirely a wondrous topic to study. So yeah, pig is a Latin abstract. The programming from the Java MapReduce item. Pig programming is developed from Java, but it is quite independent of Java too. So I was able, as I had a prerequisite knowledge about the SQLs and database management system. I was quite very well able to acquaint with pig programming. So pig programming is purely data processing language, and the engine that executes this pig is the Hadoop cluster, and I set up an Hadoop cluster using Unix. Yeah. So this is then a single node cluster, or a single node cluster is also called as a distributed cluster. It is one of the essential daemons like the name node, data node, job trackers, and task tracker run on the same session. Yeah, this is where computer science gets interesting. You will be able to run different missions using a single mission. You will be able to set up your own system. You will can access hundreds of millions from sitting right from the place where you work. So this is where computer science is really extraordinary. You have different, so all these classes you will be able to manage from the same machine. There will be a different data node, there will be a different name node and job. What are the jobs that you're going to give to each node, and how these nodes are going to work? Everything you'll be able to analyze using this, and you will be having your own task tracker where you'll be able to track all the job that is being done using your cluster. What is a cluster actually? A cluster is a combination of different systems from around the world and around the globe connected to one common cloud where you'll be able to access the data. So yeah, so this was an project which we did with an either data processing using Excel. We did it for pharmaceutical data analysis. We collected a lot of data on pharmaceutics, how each medicine will be related to other medicines, the generic relationship between the medicines, and was one of the projects that we worked on. And how we have person, if for example, a Pete, I'm having an I'm having fever, and my friend Josh was having is having cold. So what are the kind of ways my fever will be passing on to him, and what is the probability that both our cold and my fever and Joshua's cold will be passing on to a third person who doesn't have anything. So this was our pharmaceutical data analysis, and if that happens, what kind of medicines can be provided, and that was my data analysis that we did. So these are some of the charts that we generated, and we also did for flight database. Flight data was a humongous job for us to manage. Managing the time difference between the countries was really a big task which we had to manage, and we saw that we used the universal time, and we started out using that. Yes, and I'd like to talk about my touring of Texas. So Texas is a very big state, one of the biggest state of United States, and our trip to UTD included a lot of local trips in Dallas and to the places near UTD. UTD itself is an amazing place. We had a gym in there. We had swimming pool. We had a lot of gaming places. We went and played snooker. We went and played cage baseball. Every facility is available in UTD. But then we also went and adventured a lot of places around UTD and local Dallas. The towns of Texas is really awesome. That's how I like to describe it. I visited Houston NASA, that's in Texas. Then we visited an USS Lexington, a warship museum. It is decommissioned right now, and so it is being harbored in Corpus Christi, and we went and visited that living museum. It's a warship museum, and I was ecstatic about visiting a warship, a naval warship. I can't just stop telling. I visited a warship. Yes, and we attended Sunday service in Methodist churches, various Methodist churches we attended. We had a good view about what the different kind of worship methods they follow. And some of them people are asking, so you people are from India, so what do you really think about Christianity is? And when I tell to them, said I'm from Karna University, which is basically run by Jesus Calls, and it is founded by Dr. Jesus, and people really said, oh, you're from Karunya, so that persons from Jesus Calls, you know them? Yeah, I said to them, yes, they are my chancellor and my emirate chancellors. It was a blessed experience over there. And I visited Dallas World Aquarium, and while our trip, we had an around the Texas trip for 3 days. We visited Alamo, Corpus Christi, Austin, San Antonio, Houston. On the way, we visited even the University of Texas, Austin. It was really awesome. And we had one industrial visit along with this, and we visited Sampson, Texas. And I am pretty much quite happy, and I'll just lift my claws and say I was able to have an pre-hand demonstration of this VR technology even before it reached the industry. And we played VR games in Samsung. They gave me a bow and arrow with virtual gaming consoles, and we had to pull the arrow and leave it, and it was really a fun. We played a lot, and we went to we did a lot of weekend shopping. So we visited Walmart, we visited TomTom, we went to Macy's, and the shopping was ecstatic what we did over there. And I will say that me and my friend Raghavi really spent more than 9 hours of shopping at Walmart. Walmart is quite amazing. You get from a small pen to anything you want, you get it in Walmart. It is cheap also. But yes, when you're going to compare that with our Indian currency, it is quite high. But then we did a lot of shopping over there, and we participated in a lot of adventure sports. There was adventure trekking we did participated in. Yes, it was fun. So let us go through some of the pictures right over here what we did. And yeah, that is the thing over in the your left side top corner is the Austin State Capitol, and this was my visit at Dallas World Aquarium. Both at the right top and corner and left bottom corner, left bottom corner is a visit at the Dallas World Aquarium. We met some nomad people, dressed like nomad people, not a real nomad peoples, and it was a local touring trip at Texas, Dallas. We went around Dallas downtown and we had a good time. And this is my classroom. See how ecstatic I am, and I'm enjoying my classrooms. The classrooms are really spacious. And when I just came to Kalani and I just compared it, some classes really are just like what I saw in University of Texas. Our conference rooms are similar to what their classrooms are in there. Okay, so we are developing too. We will definitely reach that standard. And I just forgot to say, I also had one good session of school students, high school students who were part of our internship, where they shared their experience, how they program and how they are taught programming in their schools. So that is an area where I would like to talk much. So thing is that those people get to specialize in the field what they do. They select one stream. For example, if they are going to select computer science in their 11th standard, 11th grade, that is their high school grade, high college grade, they just specialize in that. But people over there don't know what basic hardware is. Basic hardware in the sense, basic mechanical is, basic civil engineering is, and I'm proud that part of Indian education I'm able to get a good hold of what all engineering streams are about. Yes, my PEP program, I just told those students, you guys miss those PEP programs, pre-engineering programs. Civil engineering people, they come into computer science engineering, they know only to program, they know only to code, they know only networking, but they don't know anything else extra apart from that. So I am proud of being part of this Indian culture where I've got a good exposure to all these basic electrical engineering and everything. Our academic structure is way well structured than theirs, because people get specialization only from one particular field. They don't have a good generalization thought, and I'm really proud I had this. I was lifting my call and said I know basic aerospace. I have did my free elective on basic automobile. I did my free and basic aerospace engineering, industrial safety. That's what I've done. So when I said to them, they were like, "You know all this, Pete?" Yes, I said I know all this, and I got a degree. I got my semester papers also on that. They were ecstatic, and this was my classroom. How they taught us Hadoop clustering, and we had some fun. We were enjoying our time over there. And this is our shopping at Walmart and Macy's respectively. A lot of chocolates to go ahead and a lot of accessories in Walmart. And this is my racing track. We had an truck racing, not a truck, go-kart racing in Adventure Landing there in Dallas downtown. And just one of my samples of just holding on to an earth mover, just hopping on into vehicles just like in Indian roads. Yeah, this was our visit at Dallas. We went and visited one of the major Italian outlets. We went and visited Chipotle, where we had a burrito. The burrito was fine, and we also went and visited a lot of Indian restaurants. People tell, "Oh man, you went to America and you didn't get any Indian food. You missed Indian food." No, we didn't. Jay sir was with us like our dad. He took us around entire Dallas and he gave us the best food. We ate more than 18 varieties of food, and we had a lot of Indian food. Kuttu parotas, mutton biryani, chicken biryani, all we had, and all credits go to Jay sir for that. And we went even to a cave, and where we went down under the earth, like 670-80 meters, and we got an all-round view of the geographical structure underneath the earth structures, the cave structures, everything. We got a good sight. So sorry. And yeah, and this is me. I just got an illustration where I was just able to go and touch the University of Austin and the state capitol's tower. The illustration, pictorial illustration, and this is the Austin state capitol, and this is Corpus Christi, where there was a boat ride with a lunch organized on it, and this a sight from one of the malls outside Corpus Christi. And yes, this is my varsity USS Lexington. I just feel proud of being on board that. And this is USS Lexington, and I was able to just give a pose where just man the spinning wheel of this USS Lexington. Yes, and this is the 55 Durat gun. That is a basic armory of any of the warship, and we had a good exposure with that too. We had an kind of feeling of all those war mechanisms, and especially that advanced mechanism of the US Army, and I feel proud about that. Yes, and we visited NASA Space Center, Control Center, Houston, and this is the control room of NASA's fast space program, and I had a peep into it. It was quite awesome, and there were a lot of marks and remarks from the astronauts. I met 2 astronauts over there. Those people are the one who was explaining to me, and this is a must. And there were a lot of modules of the rocket and small prototype rocket launch vehicle models also available over there. Yes, and this is our internship at University the Samsung industrial visit. Yes, and so these were the latest devices that are being displayed on, and just given you a small glimpse of this virtual gaming technology, how they follow there. And just I was just roaming around to know how things happen. And this is the Samsung's industrial visit. So my life at UTD. So this is my bunch of friends who came with me to UTD, and all these people are just fun filled, and they helped me a lot in my career, as well as we had a good time and good gala at University of Texas. Yes, and so this is my fellow Mexican interns. I should not forget them. These people made my stay wonderful over there. I had a good cross-cultural experience with them, especially Miguel Andros Lara, Nancy Mayogra, Christy, and Lily, April Lovegod, and not to forget the best friend ever, Ray Pena Martinez. He was my best friend who just helped me out a lot, and he's a kind of crazy guy, and I had a good time with them. And Miguel is an mechatronics expert, and we have a good contact and good friendship relationship between each other, and we're going to work together in future for some projects, definitely. And he's my best friend, he's my brother in arms. Yes. So this is my course completion certificate, and I'm being handed over to me by Dr. J. Virasamy with the HOD, and Dr. John Coolis was present in that, and as well as the HOD of this computer science department is the other person who's handing on the certificate. And I have my course instructors, Ms. Purnima Bakiraj. She taught me the basic R programming, PIC programming, and Spark analytics. And I have my favorite, the best, Mr. Hemant Devraj, working as AT&T companies, and he taught me basic machine learning. He taught me Excel data analytics. He taught me a lot of artificial intelligence stuff too. And this man is to be worried. And all I like to point is he's a boxer, and I just feel how a boxer is going to come and teach. It sounds really crazy, but that he is a really fun-filled character, and I really enjoyed studying with him. And so this is the entire group. They handed over me the final course completion certificate along with UTD intern certificate, and for involving in cross-cultural activities. And so this so the ma'am is towards the fair hand, towards my left She is actually the person who's in charge of all the outreach activities of University of Texas as a whole. She manages all the interns who is present over there, and she does a really good job. And Jason is part of that program, and Jason gives a lot of helping hand to us. So this is the final picture we took in University of Texas at the front end of the university. So we all just we had just jumped over the state now toward the wall, final wall, and we had took a pose, and this is the final picture of the program. So yes, this is me with my mentor and to my to-go dad in the US, Mr. Dr. J. Virasamy, and my fellow intern and my best friend that I gained in University of Texas. Yeah, she only traveled with me. That is Mr. Agabi from Sonar College of Technology. So this is my friends and a selfie with a great noble man behind the entire program and who made this trip awesome for me. And also this person, she's my best friend I ever had, and she also gave me a good experience, and I had a good talk with her regarding her college education also. It was a really good experience over there. And so this is me, Pete, signing off. And yes, Pete Johannes Samuelraj. I'm doing my 4th CSE, and my edition number is CS101. Allah, thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to present to you about my internship at University of Texas at Dallas. Thank you.